The Sam Raimi Spider-Man films are easily the greatest Spider-Man films of all time. And not just the greatest Spider-Man films of all time, the trilogy has the potential to be considered the greatest comic book trilogy of all time, with one of the strongest comic book movies of all time being Spider-Man 2. And while there are so many different great aspects of the films, be it the action or the score or the cinematography, I think a woefully underrated thing about the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films is the character relationships and the conversations therein. Fans of the films will bend your ear endlessly about those aspects, but if you only watch them as a casual enjoyer of comic book media, then you may not have seen them for a while, and you may not even remember how good they are. The scene I want to talk about today, I think may be one of the best scenes of all time, is a scene in which Aunt May is speaking with Peter Parker in Spider-Man 2 and discussing with him in a roundabout way the responsibility associated with being Spider-Man and why he needs to return to being Spider-Man. It is one of the most substantiated theories across enjoyers of the Raimi Spider-Man series that Aunt May very clearly already knew that Peter was Spider-Man. It's never outright said, like in the Insomniac Spider-Man or even in the MCU Spider-Man films, but it's very, very clear in the things she says that she knows about his alter ego. So I want to break down the scene in which she's trying to get him back on the saddle and go over why that scene is A, so good, and why it is clear that she knows he's Spider-Man. The scene starts with Peter returning back to his childhood home that his Aunt May is leaving because she can no longer afford to live there after his Uncle Ben's death, and she's getting rid of some of the miscellaneous items she cannot afford to bring with her to her new residence. A young boy is helping her with her affairs, and he's the first to bring up the topic of Spider-Man.
What's going on?
Oh, they gave me another few weeks, but I decided to hell with it. I'm moving on. I found a small apartment.
Why didn't you tell me?
I'm quite able to take care of things myself. And Henry Jackson across the street is giving me a hand, and I'm giving him $5.
That's Henry Jackson?
Yes. It's funny what happens in 2 years. 9 years old, has great ambitions.
Listen, about my last visit.
Pish posh, we needn't talk about it. It's water over the dam or under the bridge or wherever you like it, but you made a brave move in telling me the truth, and I'm proud of you. And I thank you, and I love you, Peter. So very, very much.
The scene begins with an extremely heartfelt moment between an aunt and her nephew, a pseudo-mother and her pseudo-son, wherein she forgives Peter for inadvertently being responsible for Uncle Ben's death, as he had admitted earlier in the film.
Hey, where are all my comic books?
Oh, those dreadful things. I gave those away.
I put the pants in the box, Mrs. Parker.
Thank you, Henry.
Hi, Peter.
Hey, Henry, you're getting tall.
Henry, why don't you put those cookbooks in with the mixer?
Okay. You take Spider-Man's pictures, right?
Directly after, the young boy who's helping Aunt May comes out, greets Peter, and addresses the fact that he was the photographer who took Spider-Man's pictures. But let's look at the way Aunt May looks up at the beginning of this conversation. There's no real reason for her to interject at this point. It's a 9-year-old little boy asking his neighbor about his day job taking pictures of a famous and beloved superhero. But you can see a sort of knowing look in her eye. This is her in to start talking about Spider-Man and the meaning that Spider-Man has for everyone. There's no reason for her to do this unless she knows something.
I used to.
Where is he?
Henry and I agree. We don't see his picture in the paper anymore.
He, quit.
Why?
Wanted to try other things.
He'll be back, right?
I don't know.
While Peter is giving Henry his explanation as to what happened to Spider-Man and why he's no longer around, Aunt May looks on in the background as if she's hoping that Peter gives a hint about possibly coming back at Spider-Man. And when she sees that he doesn't, she sees the doubt still present in him, she continues the conversation about Spider-Man.
You'll never guess who he wants to be. Spider-Man.
Why?
Well, he knows a hero when he sees one. Too few characters out there flying around like that, saving old girls like me. And Lord knows, kids like Henry need a hero. Courageous, self-sacrificing people, setting examples for all of us. Everybody loves a hero.
And here is where Aunt May gives the game away. Not only does she know that Peter is Spider-Man, she also knows that he needs this pep talk to get back to being Spider-Man. In this pep talk, the language she uses, she references interactions that her and Peter had in the past that we even saw in this movie.
Everybody loves a hero. People line up for him, cheer them, scream their names, and years later they'll tell how they stood in the rain for hours just to get a glimpse of the one who taught him to hold on a second longer. I believe there's a hero in all of us that keeps us honest, gives us strength, makes us noble, and finally allows us to die with pride, even though sometimes we have to be steady and give up the thing we want the most, even our dreams. Spider-Man did that for Henry, and he wonders where he's gone. He needs him. Do you think you could lift that desk and put it into the garage for me? But don't strain yourself.
Okay.
The first thing she references is a hero telling us to hold on just a bit longer. And at the very beginning of the movie, where I and many other fans believe Aunt May first discovered that Peter was Spider-Man, he is saving her during a fight with Otto Octavius, and he screams to hang on just a little bit longer before he can save her.
And years later they'll tell how they stood in the rain for hours just to get a glimpse of the one who taught him to hold on a second longer.
I'm coming! Hang on!
And then she talks about being honest, even at the cost of oneself, which was another scene earlier in the film where he told her honestly, at the potential cost of their relationship, that Uncle Ben's death was his fault.
I believe there's a hero in all of us that keeps us honest, gives us strength, makes us noble, and finally allows us to die with pride, even though sometimes we have to be steady and give up the thing we want the most.
And all of this culminates in one final message: how much even the smallest person in the neighborhood, 9-year-old Henry, looks up to and needs Spider-Man. And this is the catalyst to make the hero a hero again. Thanks so much for watching. Behave yourselves.